am bam damn a damn Alabama fan and proud of it. Gump Nation forever, brother.
Namath again faking, quickly finds his target.
Now cuts in. He's at the 40-yard line. He's at the 30.
Quick drop throws in the end zone.
Each number represents an expectation, a challenge that only a championship tradition can issue.
Pressure. Anders hits him. The ball is loose.
Alabama, here comes a heat. Cornelius Bennett. Whoa, did he get lit up?
It is an endless passing of the torch that urges the wearer to enrich his legacy.
Brings pressure up the middle in a hurry. They can't get away from Dante.
Alexander first down and more. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. Turns the corner. Can you say goodbye?
Because at Alabama, tradition is not retired. It is built.
Put a smile on my face.
Big up for it. Fires to the end zone.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to Bullshit. Late shit? What is it? Late night bullshit. Man, it's been a while. It has been a while. I'll tell you what, it's been one of them kind of weeks, guys. I hope everybody is doing well. And if you decide you're going to come on the show and talk some bullshit with me, I'm going to put in the link another time. And there we go. I hope everyone is doing well. Hey, roll tide to you, Stephen Hicks. Man, always good to see you, brother. Little Joe C. Man, I love Little Joe C. Good to see you, bud. Motherfucker Jones. Coach Dude. You're up awful late there, Coach Dude, but that's what we're all about. And I know there's my other gentleman. Where's he at? There he is. Dick Saban Jr., man. Roll tide to you, brother. Good to see you. B. Jamin. Glad to see you too, bud. I kind of missed you guys this week. Ain't been a whole lot going on and everything. I want to show you guys something. I don't know if y'all seen it yet, but we got a new intro. Roll tide to you, 6-0. Glad you made it, bud. Glad you made it. We're going to try to get into some interesting things tonight. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and bring this gentleman on. I don't like to leave him hanging out there too long. Let's see if I can find him. There he is. Here he goes.
He's not going anywhere. Doesn't just roll out great players. He and his staff develop them. It's all about the process.
There's my man right there.
Jamming out, baby. I love the new intro, man. I love it to death, guys. It gets me going. I thank you so much for that. That's a wonderful introduction.
Man, I'm getting into it more than every time I get to see that thing. I got lucky on that one. I'm gonna have to give it that. I got lucky.
Oh, you're good. You're just plain good, brother. Ain't nothing to do with luck.
Yeah, well, you get on. Nick Saban Jr. Always accuses me. I take his stuff too business like, I reckon, but I have fun with it.
That's all you can do is have fun with it. I mean, it's a wonderful. I mean, you do a great job with this house box. You really do.
I don't know about all that now, but anyways, it's always fun. So
Yep.
I'm gonna try to come up with some other things here shortly. I'm fixing to go on vacation, and I'm gonna get out here and play and work and do a few things, hopefully for the betterment. But if not, at least I'll have the Pick'em champ. That's him. That's him.
I need to start leading off with that. And you're welcome to be in the presence of the almighty 2023 Pick'em champ, baby. Woo! Yeah. That's a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, 6-0. But I would love to have some base. You got to be careful, though. You got to be careful because you get copyrighted stuff, man. They get a little pissy about that kind of stuff. I really like my intro. I'm gonna have to settle it down some there toward the end. I don't know. I'm gonna try to do some things with my intro, play around with it, and see what other stuff we can come up with. So, how you doing tonight?
You're referring to me. I'm doing wonderful, man. I was late. I was that close to being late. I mean, absolutely up to the last second. I didn't know if I was gonna get here on time. I was like, oh man.
Hey, well, I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Speaking of just right on times and whatever you want to call it, just 5 minutes before, as everybody knows, I'm going to be working on a Bigfoot show coming up pretty soon. Man, I tell you what, with no football going on, you kind of about want to do it now, but I got to wait off because, man, everybody wants that football, and today, well, it's the beginning of bowl season. Have y'all even paid attention? Have you seen any games? I know I haven't. I forgot all about it till just a while ago. Anyways, just to kind of catch you guys up to date on the bowl games, Ohio beat Georgia Southern 41-21. That's the final. Let's see. Jack State is leading. No, I'm sorry. They won in overtime over Louisiana in the New Orleans Bowl. Let's see.
Ain't that what Rich Rod is down there in Jacksonville? Or is he in Louisiana?
I have no clue.
He's the one. He either coaches Jacksonville or Louisiana. That game you talked about just now in overtime.
Yeah. Yep. And the Cure Bowl, App State beat Miami of Ohio. Surprise, surprise. 13-9. Right, college football chat. Okay.
So I was really nice, Coach Dude saying,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're all right. I'm just sitting there checking out the scores. Fresno State in its final today in the New Mexico Bowl, 37-10. They beat New Mexico State. It's halftime, and this is surprising. Boise State is leading UCLA 16-7.
Damn.
Okay, and there's no other games being played right now. I do believe the only other game they're going to be playing is Texas Tech versus California, and they haven't started yet. We got some upcoming games. I'm going to go ahead and give them out just a little bit. Where did it go? Okay, the California is playing the Independence Bowl. The Bahama Bowl is Western Kentucky against Old Dominion. That's coming up Monday. Tuesday is the Miami Beach Bowl. I don't know who in the world they play in Marshall, UTSA. And Thursday, December 21st, is the Pecan Raton Bowl, South Florida against Syracuse. There is a Friday game, Georgia Tech against UCF. Garceparilla Bowl. Anyways, I'm gonna stop there because then it goes into Saturday games, and you guys can have at it with that. Let me get out of this. So, yeah, that's what there's that old cartoon I always get into there, Stephen Hicks, where Bigfoot walks into camp and grabs him a beer and sits down and has a drink. And the guy looks at him and he says, "Yeah, go ahead and tell everybody. Ain't nobody gonna believe you."
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, and like he said, we're going to get into when I'll be here within some also, but we'll get into these Bigfoot stories. I know there's a bunch of you out there that's got some, so be ready to remember them. Bring your friends in that knows them, and we're going to have a lot of fun with a lot of different subjects such as that.
Yep.
I think it'd be a topic that a lot of people have something to say about.
I do too. It's always an interesting subject. I'll put it to you like this. It's been around all my whole life, because all that kind of stuff started up around 1967, and it's been going on ever since then. And of course, it's been started way before then, but brought to light media as far as our time. That's when it really kind of got fired up. But if you've got a story you would like to tell, you know somebody that has a story that wants to tell it, or you know it pretty well and you want to tell it, that's fine. We would love to hear it. And I'm going to try to structure it where the first time I do it, I want local stories. That's what I want. I want local stories. I want to hear from you guys. Matter of fact, 5 minutes before the show come on, I just got a message from one of these Bigfoot guys, and I'm going to get with him and see if we can't get him on the show and talk about what he knows and what he's seen and heard. And I've talked to some guys down in Alabama that are willing to come on and talk about it. So I think it's going to start out pretty good, and we're going to try to end up, let's put it this way. I would stick around to the end. If it goes one or two shows, I would stick around to the last one, because that's when I've got some surprises coming up. Okay? So, all right, let's get into it. So much for the bowls that's been started. What have you heard about Florida State and their politics before we get to the meat and potatoes of Alabama?
I tell you what, there's some ridiculous stuff going on out there. They wanting to bring a lawsuit against the football playoff committee. I mean, my God, it's subjective as hell. It always has been, always will be. There's no way to make it ABC perfect. But in their, I don't know if the word ain't bylaws or not, but in their credential or in their however they choose ABCD, there's a part there that says where you can take in consideration if players are injured. And, of course, Florida State, without their quarterback, they are not a top four team. They got a great season. They got a great team, but they're not a top four team. But Miss Allie Moody, or Alicia Moody, whatever her name is, she's going to run for attorney general. And so that's all she's doing. She's trying to get booty points.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's what was going on, that she was trying to make a name for herself. From what I'm hearing, they're trying to get up $1 million to fight legal battles against it. I'm like, who's going to be getting that money? That's what I want to know. Is it going to be attorneys just to try to make a name out of themselves? This ain't the first time this has happened. And I think the committee did actually look at who's playing the best ball right now. And I think they done right. Now, that's being partial, being an Alabama fan. I'm not a Texas fan, but I think it's also fair that they're in there above us because they did beat us in the regular season. So there we go. Yeah. I come in work the other day, and no sooner as I walked in, they had a big safety meeting going on, all the salesmen and everybody in there. I heard somebody, as soon as I walked in through the door, yeah, Florida State got screwed. I went off. This is Friday morning, and I flew into them. I did. I had them boys back it up. And I said, I'll tell you what, roll down tide,
Yes, sir.
Florida State ain't got it. And I said, just prove to me one thing. You think Florida State could beat Michigan? And they're like, well, no, then they don't need to be there. If they got half a damn chance, well, okay. But I said, can they beat anybody else in there? And they're kind of looking at me kind of funny. I said, guys, it's going to come down to this. We're going to play Michigan. We're going to beat the shit out of them. And Texas is going to play Washington. Goodbye, Washington. It's going to be Texas and Alabama in the national championship. Now, the only thing that could change that would be Michigan, but I don't see it. We'll get into that too. Yeah, you're right, 6-0. Sports and politics don't mix. No, don't take away this.
The damn thing about it that really gives the biggest problem is, excuse me, the playoff committee more or less did it to themselves. The minute the Travis went down for Florida State, the quarterback. The minute he went down, they should have dropped him back around 5th or 6th or got him out of the front 4. That way they wouldn't have to drop as far. And everybody knows that's why they did that, is because their quarterback got hurt. You know what I mean? They waited to the last possible second to eject, and when they did, it pissed everybody off. It's not an Alabama fan. Now, it's Alabama bias. It's SEC owned by the ESPN, by ABC, and all this bunch of bullshit. And I mean, you know, it's a little bit ridiculous and it's a little bit stupid and a whole lot of ignorance.
Well, I'm going to say this much. Florida State, I believe they had their chance to get into the SEC long time ago, and they didn't do it. They wanted, I guess, more money or their own recognition. You know, that's what happened to Texas. Texas started their own kind of crap, and it failed. And now look at them. They want to join the SEC. At least they swallowed their pride and did so. You know, Florida State, you're screwed. You went ACC. You know, ACC, everybody knows it's not as strong of a schedule. It just ain't. And, you know, look at Clemson. You know, not a strong schedule, but they beat us a couple of times, but they played well in those years. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, they sure did. You know, that's the thing about it is Bobby Bowden them could have joined the SEC years ago, and out of his own mouth, he said it'd be harder to get there, and they'd been ACC, it'd be easier to get there. I mean, that's making it down to, you know, small nuts and bolts, but that's what he said. He didn't want to be in the SEC because he couldn't get in the championship.
Yeah, well, that's what I say, you know. Oh, well, now I think they're actually trying to use this politician and politics to prove some kind of point to make it easier, from what I'm understanding, to make them move out of the SEC or the ACC, and they want to get into the Big Ten. That's about stupid. You're on the total different side of the country. That is just ignorant. Yeah. But hey, stranger things happen. Let's see here. Yeah, just wants a vote. That's all. That's all this is. 6-0 said something pretty interesting. FSU might win because Georgia's lost 18 players to the portal, all from 3 stars to 5 stars. Yeah, I wonder what's going on down in Georgia.
Lost 18 players to the portal.
Yeah. Roll Tide, Blake. I'm glad to see you come in, bud. Yeah, that's what I say. They need to lose them. Georgia needs to beat Florida State. I'll give them that. But if they will. They will. I don't care if they are
they'll
losing.
walk a dog on them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about all this Michigan talk that's going on?
Well, Michigan, you know, my first thing about Michigan is this. They fired that coach for stealing signs, Connor Dillon or something like that. They fired him for going out and stealing signs, right? Okay, well, they knew he was from Jim Harbaugh down, and everybody knew that he was doing it. They fire him, and they're trying to give Harbaugh a contract extension. You know, what's that tell you about how, you know, they're sorry that they done what they done? But, you know, there's no written rule in NCAA bylaws or anything like that says, you know, you can't do it. So it's just a moral etiquette, you know, a moral problem or something like that, you know. But if you're going to fire a guy who had the full knowledge, the head coach probably told him to go do it, and you're going to give him a contract extension, if I was that guy that got fired from Michigan, damn if I wouldn't be the one suing Michigan, you know, for whatever he can get out of it, because, I mean, it's getting ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And
Harbaugh knew. I'm sorry, Harbaugh knew about it. Ain't no way he couldn't have. I mean, it's institutional, and it's individual.
Yeah, it's institutional. That's what I've been saying all along. This ain't just a Jim Harbaugh thing. That's like Tennessee. You know, it's institutional.
Oh yeah,
all the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, Michigan's all, you know, you've seen their schedule like I have Icebox, and everybody out there, Little Joe and all y'all out there, 6-0, y'all seen the Michigan schedule, and it's pathetic. It's worse than Georgia's, and look how well we played against Georgia. But I'm going to tell you something. We didn't just block them and stuff. We were knocking them 3 yards off the ball on the offensive line to the defensive line. And then when we were on defense, was readjusting the line of scrimmage back 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's what's called dominate line of scrimmage. Now, I know Michigan's supposed to have all these great linemen. I know one of their guys, Zenter, I think he's a starting left tackle. I'm not sure. He's supposed to be their best offensive lineman. He's broke his leg, so he's out for the playoffs. He's done. He's gone. So they got 4 linemen, but they're Joe Moore Award. They're supposed to be one of the best offensive line. I'm going to tell you something. These last couple of games, I think we've had the best offensive line. I damn sure think we've had the best defensive line because we shut down Georgia, when they 3rd and 1, 3 different times, 3rd and 1, they couldn't even get a half a yard on us.
Yep. I remember watching that. As a matter of fact, I went back and watched some of it. But yeah, Michigan. What is Nick Saban Jr.? If you're still on here, what was that guy's name been running his mouth? Trailer somebody? I can't remember his last name.
For Michigan?
Yeah, he's used to be offensive lineman for him. Got on there running his mouth that we're built different, we're built stronger, we're built faster. Hell, you ain't the damn $6 billion man. Shit. Don't even act that way. I know what he's doing. He's pulling for his team, of course.
Yeah,
but
he's
full.
You're talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're all right. He's just full of shit. That's all it is to it.
Is that the same guy that says they're going to beat us by 3 scores?
I think so, or at least double digits.
Yeah, double digits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I saw him today, and I'd sit there and shoot my head thinking, well, I mean, it's okay. I'm a fan too, so go ahead. And then at the end, when it's all said and done, I'll come back to your website and ask you, what do you think the final was again? Well, I mean, we're going to knock them off the ball so far on offense. I mean, that offensive line has gelled. It's come together. They figured it out what they needed to do. Tommy Reese figured out what they needed to do to work with Milroe. And it's all coming together at the perfect time. They've been getting better and better. It's like an oncoming storm. They're getting stronger, faster, bigger, better, and all of a sudden here they come. And I know we only beat Georgia by 3, but we dominated that line of scrimmage. And, Milroe, they asked Milroe about it. Milroe said he'd look them in the eyes and tell they wanted to quit. I mean, that's straight from Milroe's mouth.
Well, why not? They was wearing them out. Let me ask you this. Let me get up here. Benjamin wants to know. We're going to kind of go through this a little bit, go through it real quick. We'll get back on Michigan and Alabama. Do you think Kirby's going pro? 6-0 says Kirby's going to the Raiders. I don't know if they're just messing around, but I wonder if the Georgia fans really would complain if Kirby did, if he went pro.
Well, he's the best coach they've had. Well, he's been actually probably better than Vince Dooley, but back then they kept coaches around, because they didn't throw money around like Texas A&M, that $78 million to fire Jimbo. But it's according to who they got.
I'll tell you what.
It's who they got to replace them.
Yeah, let me ask a question. Everybody, chat room, I don't care. When I was arguing with them guys about Florida State getting screwed over and everything else, I asked them, and I heard one of them said, Alabama's got the best coach. I said, had been, always. GOAT, number 1. I said, okay, so we won't argue about that. I said, so let me ask you guys, and I was talking to them. I said, who do you think is the second best coach you ever heard of? Who would you think?
You say ever, or is it coaching now?
Ever or now, however you want to look at it. Well, I would say ever and now.
Well, I mean, Bear and Nick Saban are the 2 best coaches as far as championships and all that. So that's my first 2. Of course, I'm a homer, but outside them 2 right there, I don't know if it'd be Woody Hayes, Bo Schembechler. Oh, I forgot that guy's. John McKay out there at USC was good.
Yep.
Oh,
one of their answers was Lou Holtz when he coached at Notre Dame. Yep.
Damn.
But you got to remember, I'm up here up north, so I'm having to play with northern minds. You know what I'm saying? So they're more used to northern coaches.
Yes, sir.
And
Bud Wilkinson from Oklahoma is a good one.
Well, I was just wanting to. my honest opinion of as of right now, a man running in second place to Nick Saban would have to be Kirby Smart. I really would.
For right now, yes, sir. Is today on the field out there? Yes, sir, he is. I agree, 110%.
Yeah, I got nothing but credit for that man. Carson Beck asking $4 million. You know what? Carson Beck needs to go.
He needs to go pro.
Yeah. Yep, you need to go. If you're going to ask that kind of money, goodbye. That's about as bad as that other player that was asking, what, $500,000, $400,000 for every tackle he made. Yeah, okay.
There ain't no way. Some of these people, I mean, they get way out in left field and they don't know how to get back.
No. There's one pass TD. I'm reading what be jamming.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I think it's Chris Felica thinks that at the end of the year that Jim Harbaugh, damn Harbaugh.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold up.
Harbaugh, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Don't lose your train of thought. Hey, roll tide to you, Brittany. Coach Dude just come up with a good one. Eddie Robinson from Grambling. That was a damn fine coach. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 1 and 1A. I agree.
Yeah, he was damn good. I always stayed up with Eddie Robinson and Grambling every year just to see what they're doing down there. I always enjoyed it. All right, sorry about that. I know I might have messed your train of thought up. What was you going to say?
No, that's okay. I think Chris Felica used to be the bear on College Game Day. He thinks, and I don't know where it's coming from, but he thinks that Jim Harbaugh is going to be at San Diego next year. That's why Michigan come up with wanting to give him a contract extension if he didn't take on another offer. You remember hearing about that? And so I think that's where that's coming from. So, but Kirby being a pro coach, I think he's going to have to wait a while. He's going to have to be there for a while to prove he can do it more than one recruiting class because, that championships he's won has been with one recruiting class. When they're all gone, and then we'll start seeing how good, over a period of time he can be.
Why did Brooks transfer? That's why I wish Saban Jr. was on here. I was supposed to have a guy come on and do some stuff like that, but I don't know if he's going to make it or not. He ain't get no playing time. And we got some good.
I think that's what.
Huh?
Go ahead.
And we got some damn good receivers back there. He might not get no playing time. So that's why I understand that, I got nothing bad to say about Brooks. No, I would agree with you, Coach Dude. Kirby wouldn't be good in the NFL. I don't think so. I think he's like Saban. He loves college and working with these young men. I wouldn't want to do it myself. Not to have the success that he's having and watching these kids grow. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it either.
Yeah, I agree 110%. I mean, I would. If you enjoy recruiting, you better stay in college because in pros you don't get that. You have to be 0-16 to get who you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to pay him a boatload of money.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, B. Jamie said he'd pick Mac Brown, Bobby Bowden, or even Dabo over Lou Holtz. I don't know. I think Lou Holtz would beat Mac Brown. Bobby Bowden was good. Yeah. Dabo. Lou Holtz could coach. I'm going to say that much. Lou Holtz could coach.
He's a very good. Yeah, I always wondered, when he was at Arkansas, he done pretty good, but you put him at Alabama in his prime, he would have been so much more than he is because you can't. I mean, this Arkansas and Alabama's programs are never equal. They never, won't be equal. It's a better job, and everybody knows it's easier to win at Alabama. But Lou Holtz, I agree with you. It'd been if you put him. I mean, Notre Dame had them recruiting. They couldn't take so many players. I forgot what all their recruiting restrictions are. The higher grade point average, whatever. I know they can't get all the players, but. You put him at Alabama or something like that he can recruit who he wanted to pretty much. I think Lou Holtz would have had a whole lot more championship.
For some reason, I've read something. It could be just an article that Bill Belichick has gone from New England.
Yeah, a friend of mine's a Patriot fan was talking about that today. He said if they fire him, he's going to quit being a Patriot fan. I said, I know the feeling, brother. I quit being a Cowboy fan when they fired Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, did you really?
I love Dallas, man. I grew up. I cried when Roger Staubach and them lost. I was just a kid, but I mean, when they fired Jimmy Johnson, I said, shove it up your ass, Jerry Jones. And I mean, I don't care if Dallas goes 0-16.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't follow NFL anymore. No.
I don't know.
Yeah. Coach Dew says the NFL is going younger in head coaches. DeMarco Ryans. Where does that name sound familiar?
D'Amico was a linebacker for us.
That's what I thought. I was wanting to say that, but I wanted to be sure.
Yes, sir. He's up there at Texas, I think. He's at Texas Houston's now.
Let's see here. All right. So, anyways, we're going to move on. So,
Coach Dude's in there. Maybe, hey, let me ask him real quick. Hey, Coach Dude, if you're still in there, do you know why your Corey Brooks transferred out? I mean, I think me and Icebox know it as well as, but you know that these newer guys are coming in and taking away his start time. Was he still hurt, Icebox? Do you know? I mean, I know. I'm just curious.
No. Blake says that he didn't want to work for a spot on field. It starts at practice, and then he want to wait till next season. I don't know if he would play much more next season because we're getting some good receivers coming in this year too. Tom Landry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Tom Landry was a good Cowboys coach. That was good old days.
Man, yeah, you got that right. That's when my Cowboys look like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Everybody hated them, and I loved it.
Oh, I got to check that out. I just got a little message. Playing time business decision. Anyways, he was suffering injuries and he got lost. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, good grief. Look what he had in front of him. Jermaine Burton, Isaiah Bond, and Prentice, and Kendrick Law. I mean, my goodness, them guys was playing their hearts out this year. I enjoyed them.
Not to mention Ryan Williams, and there's a good chance we might be flipping over Perry Thompson back to Alabama. And I say good chance. I don't know exactly what number that is, but there's a shot he might be coming back.
Yeah, I seen that too. I don't know. Look, Alabama's going to have some good wide receivers no matter what now. It ain't like the old days when we couldn't get people. I'm not worried about wide receivers. I would still like to see him, stay. I really would. Let's see here. Yes, that was something else I was wanting to talk about tonight. Thank you, George. Milroe is coming back. Roll Tide, roll, baby. Man, I'm ever so glad to hear that. You get Julius saying in here, everybody's going to be wondering about that. So, where is, I know he's in here now, Nick Saban Jr. Do you think that Milroe's staying like he is? Do you think Ty Simpson transfers? Maybe to go to play lacrosse somewhere? Hey.
I was sitting here thinking about it when you said that. I was thinking Ty Simpson and all that. I think one or two of them will transfer out. That new quarterback, when Sagan comes in, if he's as good as advertised, he's going to be pushing Milroe, not off the bat, but there toward the end, he'll be the one behind Milroe. I think he'll step up that quick. If Ty Simpson isn't 100% bought into the program, if he starts looking over his shoulder thinking that they're doing this and another, I think that Ty Simpson will leave. Not that I want him to, because I think he'll be a good quarterback.
I think so. I do. But he says, yeah. I'm playing devil advocate here. What about Dylan Lonergan? What happens to him?
Yeah, he's unknown. You don't hear enough about him. I mean, you don't ever hear anybody saying anything about the kid. So, I'm drawing a blank. Nick Saban Jr.'s in there. Maybe he knows. I mean, I seen him down there in the chat just now, but he's too quiet. I ain't hearing nothing out of it.
I would say that's what I'm wondering. Okay, Julius says I don't think he's already on campus, is he?
He's I think we started practicing. Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, I was wondering.
There's a handful of them that's there for the bowl practice.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Anyways, all right, you got Julius saying if he's going to be what he is advertised to be, he's going to play probably, if nothing else. Eli's gone. Yeah, Brittany B, you're right. I believe Eli's gone. I don't know about Lonergan. I kind of look for Ty to go. It's going to be one of the two, Jamie, either D, Lonergan, or Ty. I'm kind of hoping Lonergan stays, to be honest with you. We will need a good quarterback, backup, whatever you want to call it. He will get some playing time.
Talking about Dylan.
Oh, Dylan Lonergan? You think he could start before Judy said? I don't know about that.
Next 7 June, yeah.
All right, we got another guest to come in here. Let's get this gentleman on board here with us.
Hey, Coach Dude.
The man.
Am I on?
Hey,
Man.
You
It's
okay?
raining my internet.
Yeah,
Hey,
it
I'm
just
gonna
started
see
raining
you.
up here. Oh, how
How
you doing tonight?
Salute. How's it going, gentlemen?
Salute to you, brother.
Hey, I just wanted to jump in the conversation if y'all don't mind.
Don't mind at all.
Yeah,
What you got on your mind?
man, the transfers with a lot of gentlemen leaving. Ty, I think he leaves, but it's just the timing with him. You know, with the opportunities. You know, that's like with the guy from Texas transferring. You know, he left before the championship run for Texas because it was timing and opportunity. The only thing about Ty is, you know, with him, the window will still be technically open for him for underclassmen up until I think January 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Quote me if I'm wrong. So it's just the Power 5 opportunities for him. Like, you know, that's the only thing for him. But if he put his name in the hat, you know, soon as the championship run is kind of like over, then, you know, it's kind of timing for him though. That's the only thing for him.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. He's not going to say anything till after the championship game. That could be tough. That'd be a tight window. So I don't know. I know Eli's probably going to go because I don't see him having a chance unless he's wanting the education that Alabama's offered him. And so if he just stays there, well, I don't blame him. But I would say this. Let's see. Junior says that he stays and compete, that he could probably start before Dewey. I don't know. And he's talking about Dylan. What do you think about Dylan, Coach Dude?
I like Dylan. Dylan's going to be the competition for Julian. You know, Julian.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying that he's the future, but I think Dylan stays, and him and Julian will be the quarterback for the ride out for Coach Saban. I think they'll be the last. One of them will be the last quarterbacks. I think he rises out because everybody know that this is Jalen's next year will be his last year. So then you have a redshirt sophomore versus a redshirt freshman competing. So you just got to kind of look at it like that. I think the path is open for him to compete as the next starter after Jalen.
Yeah. What do you think about AT?
It just Eli Holstein again. Eli, I think he's gonna get out there. You ain't hearing nothing about him. I love for Lonergan to hang around, pull a Mac Jones. But if everybody's correct as it seems like they are with Julian saying being as accurate as he is, it's going to be Milroe this year, upcoming year, and Sayin will probably start, the following year.
I don't know. I kind of look at it this way. Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but I am. I'm tickled to death that Milroe is staying. But he's going to have a good backup quarterback. Does Ty want to be that guy? Does he? Or does he want to transfer and we start working with Dylan to make him the backup to Milroe for next year? You see where we got so many options. There are things that we need because you're going to need your third quarterback also. So I'm just curious. I don't think Eli will stay. I don't think, and it's one of them kind of positions, God forbid Milroe gets hurt. That's what I'm getting at there. But who would actually back him up, clean up duty, and if he got hurt? Who would you want?
Now, I can say somebody that's going to throw a monkey wrench. You know, the 5-star quarterback Underwood that's visiting this weekend. If he, let's just say hypothetically, you know, if we get blessed for his services for the class of 2025, that throws a monkey wrench in a lot of, you know, moving parts also. So you got to look at it like that, you know. But with the college football landscape, you can't keep all those guys. If you know, us fan base, if we have to understand that, we have to understand the politics of college football now. Somebody's going to leave. You know, I hate somebody's going to leave because, you know, I'm with the competition. You know, play to the strength, and you know, I understand the point of business also.
Yeah, playing time. I understand it. Matter of fact, it was AT I was talking to. We was talking about he watched some kind of article or something or another about the I'm gonna say the travesties of the portal and what it has done to the JUCO players. Does that ring a bell to you now, AT?
Yeah, that was Lugan Bill talking to Matt Berry or something like that. They was talking about transfer. I sort of wrote down a couple things here just to try to help jog my memory. It said pretty much the transfer portal. Let me just make sure I got this before I say it. Every year on the transfer portal, they would have 300 kids. Yeah, there it is. 300 kids every year would sign in to Division I from JUCO up to Division I. And in the first year that transfer portal become a real thing, it dropped from 300 down to 100 players in JUCO. It literally dropped over half the players that could come out of JUCO into the other teams go transfer portal. And a lot of players now, that's why a lot of players started committing early on that early signing day because they, you know, that transfer portal can get their job and get their offer, their ship just as sure as they can get the JUCOs. But they said that JUCOs where the transfer portal has done the most damage to kids trying to move up in the ranks and try to get on better teams because you get a player that stayed somewhere for a couple of years or done pretty good a couple of years and he wants to transfer to Alabama. Would you going to take him? Or are you going to take that JUCO? Or are you going to take a high school kid? You know, in Alabama, we get to cherry pick them. But they really sent it toward the JUCO up whenever that transfer portal came about.
I remember for years that it was like we was getting one or two JUCO players on the defensive side, especially that was really contributing more so later toward the end of the year, especially in championship games and such. I mean, there's numerous of them. But here lately, I have not heard of any JUCO player coming to Alabama itself. You know, it was mainly through the transfer portal, which they do good, you know. So it's hurt them, I do believe.
We got, you know, the wide receiver kid. He's from the JUCO ranks, but I can't from experience because I played a little JUCO baseball also at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. Man, it was always hard for JUCO guys for recruiting anyway because of the politics because it's a lot of politics when it comes to that JUCO ball. But with, like you said, with transfer portal, and I know I saw an estimated 1,500 kids will probably jump into the portal within it's all over for the portal. You have to be exceptional nowadays to get recruited out of JUCO or high school. It's sad now with the college free agency and how it's kind of destroying the ground roots of recruiting.
Yeah, Logan Bill said there are 100 quarterbacks right now in the transfer portal. 100 quarterbacks. I mean, you do the math. You know how many teams is there? 125 Division I. I forgot how many it is now, but just 100 quarterbacks in the transfer portal alone. So, I mean, it's going to take up a lot of room right there. And it's he said that right now out of the 300, you know, ESPN has the 300 out of the 300 that they ranked out of the top 300 players that are around, only 17 of them are not committed right now to a team because of the transfer portals. What they're, you know, he thinks they're scared of.
I'm going to ask you guys a question. Go ahead.
Now, one thing, the group of five and the 1AA, the FCS schools, I think they kind of benefit the most sometimes because you got players that kind of get lost in the sauce and scrambled around. So some of those schools can kind of fill up the depth chart and be kind of productive, through the transfer portals like that. It's just a lot of coaches I think they have to utilize the transfer portal the right way. And just think about what position group kind of benefits the most from the transfer portal. A lot of people are looking at the quarterbacks, but to me, I think the line, the O-line and the D-line, the trenches, I think those are the guys that benefit the most from the transfer portals. The skill position guys, a lot of those guys, were second string on let's just say Alabama, or the linebackers or DBs. They were second string and third string at Alabama, and i.e. go to Colorado and never see the field at Colorado, then have to transfer to another school and then transfer to another school and end up at Northern Arkansas State or something like that for playing time at the end of the game.
Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, because you're still playing.
You're still. Hey, what was it we was talking about? Oh, I don't know if it was last weekend or not, but anyways, we was talking about people that have come out of nowhere and done good for the NFL.
Right.
I brought John Stallworth with Alabama and A&M. I wonder just how many you brought up Grambling earlier with Eddie Robinson. I wonder how many players from his classes have went on to be in the NFL. So necessarily, just because you couldn't make it at Alabama, going to these if you want to call them lower schools, a good school is a good school. I don't care what you think, but you get your playing time, get your name out there, get your skills up to where they're progressed, you still could get looked at for the NFL is what I'm getting at. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing.
You got to look. They need film. Sometimes it's not about where you go. I understand. The Alabamas of the world. We going to always produce the most because we're just the eyes are on us. But if you go to Arkansas Tech College or something like that, as long as you got good film and you produce when you go to these all-star camps or all-star games or something like that, they'll pick you up. That's why they have the Senior Bowl. That's why they have the Shriners Bowl and things like that. Yeah. So those lower kids can get more film and stuff like that. It's just now the transfer portal, a lot of times it's becoming about monies because like the kid from Georgia that just entered the transfer portal, the linebacker, I'm thinking, why is you in the transfer portal when you're an All-American at Georgia? So you sometimes it's about monies with some of them. So it's the business part about it.
I agree with you. And the guy made a point earlier saying, you think about it also because the way the transfer portal right now is organized, a coach doesn't know who he's going to have on his team when he's getting these contracts. Getting these colleges accepted and, getting them on signing day and stuff. He don't know. And so the question becomes this, and I'll ask both of you. If you're signing 27 players average a year, 25, 26, 27, how many spots do you hold open for a transfer portal guy, that you might want or need? How many spots are you going to keep instead of going getting a high school kid? How many spots are you going to keep open on your team every year for that particular thing? Because, after they sign, then they got a transfer period. You don't know if you're going to have them players on your team or not, so you're kind of screwed. And that's the whole thing about transfer portal. The timing on it needs to be made to where do transfer portal where they only got a short amount of time where they get in it and get out of it, and then they don't get a chance to get back in it to screw up your coaching. Because, again, if I'm a coach and I know I've got 6 or 7 guys who might jump in the transfer portal and hurt me in a certain area, I'm going to hold back some scholarships for the transfer portal instead of these high school kids.
Could be. Could very well be. I got a good question. I'll let Coach Dude answer that, then I'm going to ask y'all a question.
I will, if I had 27 to start off with, I think I hold no more than 7. I wouldn't hold a lot. I wouldn't really invest my time too tough into the transfer portal because sometimes we don't know why the kid is in the transfer portal. All the times it's not because of playing time. You might have some disciplinary reasons. The kid might not be just as good as the stars on his name say he is, etc. It might be school, a lot of reasons. So I think I hold maybe 5. And because at the same time, you still have to, the high school recruiting is your development and your depth also. So if you put all that into the transfer portal, i.e. those college assassins, and you have those rental players for 1 year, you got to do it again next year. Then you got to do it again next year. And it's hit and miss. You can do those freshmen, you can redshirt them and develop them and keep them on for the long haul. So it'd be no more than 5 for me. But one last thing, another thing the transfer portal is killing also is the bowl games. Some of these bowl games, they don't have the star players like today's game with Boise State. Boise State starting quarterback into the transfer portal. He signed with Arkansas, but he's supposed to be playing today. So some of these bowl games is kind of like it kills off the bowl game because of the transfer portal also.
Transfer portal doing a lot of damage it don't need to be doing. They need to wait for this transfer portal till after the bowl season. It's my opinion. I totally agree with you, Coach. Dude, that's pitiful. That's pitiful. I'm gonna ask this real quick. Blake Miles said, I think it was, Ty Simpson should stay at Alabama, make himself a champion, just like Mac Jones when he put in the work to prove himself, study on film and stuff. That's a tough call, Blake. That is really a tough call. What I really want to know, have we heard anything else on Raiola transferring from Georgia or not going to Georgia?
Going to
Have we heard
Nebraska.
anything else?
Go ahead, Coach, dude. I hadn't heard any more about it. Other than the fact, I think he is going to Nebraska. That's just my opinion. I got nothing to back it up.
Yeah, I think he might be going to Nebraska too. And the reason why I say that is because the kid from Ohio State was visiting Nebraska, and he had Nebraska on his top of his list for his transfer, and he opted. He said he's going to be looking different ways, and that's kind of a telltale sign right there that they kind of put a little monies up, and then plus his dad went played at Nebraska also. So I just think monies and then legacy kind of is going to steer that kid towards that. Plus playing time. He's looking at playing time also.
Yeah. It was me and you, I think, was talking about it probably a month or so ago, Coach Stu, that we was talking about we need Nebraskas. We need those type schools to be doing better because they're kind of a blue blood, traditional type schools. You still need them kind of schools to be more equaled out. It makes college football better when you get those kind of schools doing better.
It does.
I hope it does.
Yeah. But only thing about it is that first year going to be rough for him. So is he going to be able to take the pain and take the punishment for that first year?
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I got to respond to something. John Stallworth. Let's see here. I've been reading it. Roll Tide Rise Up. Hey, buddy. He says John Stallworth was my neighbor. I went to school with his younger brother. Where did he live? Because I was born and raised in Huntsville, and it was like every year when Stallworth got out of the NFL, he would do a golf tournament down there, and it was always great to see. Went by his home. Yeah, I could tell y'all that John Stallworth was a Huntsville hero. I know that. I do know that. Okay.
By the way, talk about this transfer portal. Western Kentucky, get this. Western Kentucky has several players on their team that's in the transfer portal, but they're letting them play in the bowl game, because that's their choice. You can let them play if you want to or not, but there's players at Western Kentucky that are in the transfer portal that are playing on their bowl game this week.
Finish the season now. Hey, that's okay. Now I can do that. If the coach if the coach say, hey, you can still finish out, because I know Texas is kind of thinking like, hey, what we're gonna do if emergency services if Quinn Ewers get hurt. Because then you got Arch Manning is the backup quarterback now too. So I think they should. I think it should be the coach's decision. It's not just, but if the coaches say, yeah, you can play still because of the depth and because of for one thing, the entertainment value, man. It's just a lot. So I think so. I think it got to be good. Just on the coach's decision. Some coaches ain't gonna be with that though, because some coaches gonna be like, you don't want to be part of us. You're not really here. You checked out mentally, so pack your coat and leave too. So I understand both sides.
Ask you a question, both of you guys. What do you think about the hiring of the coach from Michigan? I think he was a coach.
Yeah. Man,
are we playing some strategy there?
A lot of people making a big deal about it. They're talking about because of the Spygate. I mean, not the Spygate, the sign thing. So
might as well be.
A lot of people was making a big deal saying, oh, well, he was up there, but a lot of people got to understand. The coach was on. He coached with us, and he was on our staff some years ago. So yeah. Coach Saban already has a rapport with the guy. The man didn't coach at all last year. We have a position a coaching spot that's available. Why not? And he's a successful coach. I just think sometimes the media and the conspiracy theorist people puts too much into certain things. It was a great hire. It was a great hire.
Yeah, Coach Hilo did coach at Alabama under Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. So he has been there with us first. And I mean, there might be something he can tell us, about Michigan, and maybe there's something, but it really ain't gonna be much. There might be again him playing chess. But here's the thing: I got a question about is Charlie Strong. Was he? I'd love to put him back on the field as a linebacker coach in place of Cole Hutzler. But if he hired him to replace Cole Hutzler, I don't know what I don't know what Hilo's there for, other than the fact they hired him because he's a Michigan coach.
I forgot Coach Strong was with us. I forgot he was with us. Wow.
Yeah. Charlie Strong come back. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I want Strong out there coaching him because he's coaching, and in a couple of years, you might want to measure defensive coordinator, I mean, because I don't know how long Steele's going to be around.
Yeah, I give Coach Steele 2 years, year and a half, too, because he's up in age also.
Yeah, Charlie Strong's a hell of a defensive-minded coach, too. Yeah. I think he'd do real well.
Let me ask you this, and this maybe I not say this. Stallworth lived on Dug Hill Road. That man had money. Thank you, William. Matter of fact, Roll Tide, William. Let's see here. Yeah. I hesitate to say this, but what if?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's always a tough subject. What if Saban was to retire in the next year or two? Charlie Strong's still there. Would you not think he would be a strong candidate, him being defensive coach?
I'd consider him. That's for damn sure. I like Charlie Strong.
I do too. That's why I'm wondering, would they do it? Would you?
I don't know who would be available out there to compete against him.
You know just as well as I do, Alabama and their alumni and all this and that and everybody who matters down there, they have got a certain book that Saban's got that they kind of abide by. When you come down here, let's look at Tommy Rees. Come down here. Yeah, he's got his ways of doing things, but they basically made him conform to what Alabama does. So anybody that comes in and does the next coaching job, and we hope it's another 5-10 years, but we know that's kind of out of the realm. I'm just curious to who would be a really good coach, and it would have to come from the defensive side because Alabama is defense. Nick Saban Jr. says no. I like Charlie Strong better than Derek Mason, to be honest with you.
You keep hearing Glenn Schumann's name thrown around some. I mean, I don't know if he'd be better than Charlie Strong or not. I don't know enough about Glenn Schumann, for what he did when he was at Alabama to know what he's capable of.
Yeah. DeMarco Ryans, the 6-0 keeps bringing DeMarco Ryans. That's interesting.
DeMarco's a pro coach. He ain't going to come back to college unless he gets fired.
Yeah.
Well, it just depends on how much money you throw at him. Saban was a good coach.
I'm gonna say,
I agree with you.
If Coach Saban stay, let's just say Coach Saban for 2 years, and if Tommy stay for another 2 years with him, Tommy will get the first crack at it. Coach Reese will get the first crack at it. I don't see Coach Charlie Strong. I don't see him because he already had 2 jobs previous, and both jobs, no matter people, I know a lot of people from Texas feel like he might have gotten the raw deal, but hey, with all that talent and the money that you had out there, you're supposed to at least win 7 games. You're supposed to wake up and win 7 games. And then he left there and went to another program in Florida, and it didn't work out well with him. So some guys are just better at coordinators. I think he's better as a coordinator. I think they can elevate him to the coordinator, and like I said, if Coach Saban stay for another 2 years, this year and 2 more years, and then Coach Reese stay, I'd rather have Coach Reese, Coach Tommy stay, and keep the ship going, because by then he'll be fully known all the way in the state of Alabama by all the coaches. The alumni will really have gotten used to the kid, and then he will have set down roots. And it's time, all those other established coaches, we're going to have to pay too much. And a lot of those other established coaches, what baggage is they going to bring with them? With Coach Reese, he's learning from the best, and he's getting groomed by the best. So, and I just think, look at Coach Smart, look at Coach Kirby, Coach stay with us, and look at what he's doing.
I've always just wondered if they wouldn't go with a defensive coach. That's the reason I say that. And try to keep Tommy Reese.
Well, let me ask you this.
I don't know why.
What coach from the defensive side besides Coach Smart has been successful from under Coach Saban in college to what we can really think about as being the next man on the defensive side?
Now, let me ask you this. I know what you're saying.
Right.
Does it necessarily have to be a defensive coach that was under Saban?
That's true. Now that's true.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. But the first thing they're gonna think of the tree, the family tree. Sure. The process of the process. You know what the ins and outs of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, because that the how can I say it, the pressure of Tuscaloosa, Alabama is different from Clemson, South Carolina, or Tallahassee, Florida. See what I'm saying? So I think they're going to try to look in-house and then maybe step out, because we've already seen that outside the box. Sometime it works and sometime it don't.
Yeah. Well, in either case, whichever one they do, let's see, just like William just said, defense wins championships. And that's why Alabama pretty much goes after defensive coach. I'm not saying it has to be in the tree. I'm just saying I think it will be a defensive coach that will get the job. But whoever it is, the Lord help that man if he has a losing season. Oh, my.
Oh, man. If he don't win 10 games the first season, he gone. Because we wake up with 10 games. That's all I'm just saying. We look at the schedule and say, check. That's 10. And we got to worry about this one, but we going to get 10 at least. Yeah.
All right, guys. AT, would a 10-win season and the first-year coach of Alabama after Saban, would that be satisfactory?
The first year he might be able to go with 10 win, but after that he better win the SEC championship. He's got a 2-year window. It's a small window, I know, but that's how they're going to look at it. I mean, they don't. Those of us that grew up, Mike Shula in that time frame and stuff like that, we get conniption fits thinking that could happen again.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, he came. That first year, he got. He's not. Oh, okay. Just think about it like this: whoever comes behind Coach Saban, the clipboard will not be bare. You will have no excuses at all. You will have the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. So it's not like you can't say that it was a Florida State situation or a Penn State situation where the coach got old and if they wasn't getting the same type of players anymore. So whoever come behind can't say that. And like I said, that 10-win streak has been going on since 2009, 8, something like that. It's been a very long time. And I just if you don't win 10 games that first season, that seat is beyond hot. To where you coming in that spring game and the team don't look good in spring ball, you might get fired after the spring game.
Hey, be jamming. Quit bringing that Kiffin crap in here. Jeez, Kiffin ain't coming over here.
Yeah, we're just talking about defensive-minded coaches and stuff. If you look around now, I don't know if it's always been true, but it seems like all heavily offensive-minded coaches can't win the big one. I mean,
well,
Lincoln Riley, they can score like Kiffin, they can do like that. Lincoln Riley and Kiffin them, but they never some damn reason they can't ever get the coach on defense and get the players on defense to even out the game. They make it a team effort rather than beating a team 63-60.
What I would look at if you got a new coach, no matter who it is, his ability to keep the recruiting class that Saban would probably have built by then. And so if he does get a 10-win season, what about the next year recruiting class will tell if he's really good or not, to be honest with you. If he'll suit Alabama, is what I'm getting at. If you can keep that recruiting class together, put a 10-win season together, and have another good recruiting class your following year, that would tell if you're going to make it at Alabama, I believe.
Yeah, you got to be able to go ahead.
I was gonna say this, when you just talking about the coach's style and winning it all, I think majority of the time the defensive minded coaches win the whole championship is because defensive coaches know how to make in-game adjustments, and they're more kind of more manly or tough when it comes to football than the offensive side. The offense is more finesse and more, hey, let's go. And with the offense, it's more scripted, and then it's kind of more make adjustments, or this goes good, it's good. Whereas if you just look over the years of it, and like with this year with our own team, just look at the adjustments, the end game and the halftime adjustments that we make. And if you look at all the successful teams, they're the same way. So I think it's just more of end game adjustments and more. It's more, to me, I just think it's more attention to detail to where the defensive style of coaching win more championships than the offensive style of coaching.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Well, guys, it has been an hour and 8 minutes, and I need to get a smoke break in so I can do one or two things. I can let you guys carry on for about 5 or 6 minutes, or we can get out of here. Which one would y'all want to do?
It's on you. It's on the other host. It don't matter. I ain't got nothing to do.
What do you say, AT? You got anything else on your mind?
I just talked thing about Ryan Williams. He reclassified that wide receiver. Guys, He's 16 years old. When he comes to Alabama, he might be 17, and we're expecting a 17-year-old kid to not come in and compete. But, I mean, how young can you be? He's only 16, and he'll be 17 the first year he's down there in college. I mean, my God, can you imagine the emotional stress the kid's going to go through?
And not only that, development. Y'all go ahead. I'll be right back, okay?
Right, well, I'm going to say this about Ryan. Ryan has been being trained by a college athlete / kind of a coach type of guy. because his dad was a great athlete and played college ball. Actually, went off to Auburn for a year before transferring down. So, but I do understand. I understand you, because sometimes I be looking at these guys that leave school extra early, high school, and you might be physically big, or physically fast or something like that, like somebody that's 21 years old. But at the same time, like you said, you'll be 17, you're going to get somebody that's 21 years old. That's a big difference mentally. So and that's why sometimes it scares me. But it just depends on what type of system, what support system the kid has when he gets off to college also. So, but it scares me. It does.
It really does. We're talking about a 16-year-old. I mean, you have the structure of the teammates around him. And as long as you got a good structure around him, the coaches give him what he needs to do pretty much, and, give him a set path to get on and to build his life, so to speak, down in Tuscaloosa, wherever, whatever city he's in. I mean, we're talking about a 16-year-old kid and he went to prom yet. He'll be 17 by the time he gets here. That just scares me some when you talk about these kids getting younger, and it seems like they're getting bigger. And I mean, like that one kid at 6'8" they had recently on, I think his offensive lineman. I can't think of his name. He's 6'8". I mean, and he's still growing.
Right.
How much bigger these kids gonna get, Coach Dudes?
It's the food that they eat. Everything is steroid and organic now. So, but see, a lot of times, a lot of those guys that leave early, that be 17 years old, they show potential, like in spring games or in summer workouts. But a lot of those guys don't really hit the field too tough. And I say that because you look at one of the quarterbacks that was in the transfer portal, Aiden Childs, that transferred from Oregon State, and he's following his coach to Michigan State. When spring ball around, he was a 17-year-old kid, and he showed potential. But you saw they went and got a grown man with DJ Ugalaga to be the starting quarterback.
Ain't that the truth?
So you gotta look at it like that. And the same thing happened with the kid DJ Moore, if I'm not mistaken, from UCLA. The lights was so big on him to where you could see the potential in both of them, but they had to sit down. They couldn't start. And both of them is in the transfer portal now for different reasons, of course. But I just think of like that.
Yeah, Dante Moore, I think is his name, is the one you're referring to. But yeah, and again, when they're 17, it also maybe has you said it made me think about it. If they're 17 and they're a wide receiver, a running back, a defensive back, or something like that, it's an easier transition than it is for a left tackle or a right tackle or a nose guard, to transfer. I mean, not transfer, but to come into college at 17. It looks like, their offensive line would be the hardest thing to learn. I mean, to be able to transform you into a player that's able to play now as compared to wide receiver. Not that wide receiver is easier, but I'd rather be doing that than trying to block a 6'6", 245-pound monster. Now, I'm like, where in the hell am I supposed to, what's going on?
Right. But just think about it like this. Baby strong and big boy strong is two different things. You see what I'm saying? And like I said earlier, when you got somebody that's 17, 18 years old, 18 years old, that's typical, but 17 years old and they in the trenches, let's just say like a right tackle, and you're going against a guy that's 23, 24, maybe 25 years old.
Yeah.
That's a big difference, and it's going to take a little time. And we saw that personally with our offensive line with Proctor this year. The first couple games, it took him a little while to get used to the speed of college and the strength of, hey, these are grown ass men now. They're not the same age. You're not the 18-year-old or bullying on a 16 and 15-year-old no more. You're the one that's getting bullied on. So it took him a little while, and sometimes it mentally breaks those kids. We've seen it sometimes where some of them, be those hot shot freshmen, quote unquote, early enrollees, and they get broke mentally.
And I'll tell you another thing about these kids coming out of high school, is what grade classification they're high school, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, because at 3A or 2A, you look over, this guy might be 6'5", 280 pounds, but look what he's blocking, 5'8", 190, 6 foot, 215, 6'2", 220. And here he is, 6'7", 280 pounds, and he's knocking them 30 yards downfield. You think he's a 5'8", he's a 5-star. Well, no, he ain't. He's a 5-star against people that ain't half his size. And that's where the IMGs and all these schools come in. They're competing against upper echelon players, and it's more of a fair fight, so to speak, if you will. But again, these are 16, 17-year-old kids, and if they're coming into a battle zone like that, I mean, that's why I'm saying, this reclassifying at certain positions is easier. But again, it's what classification you're coming out of if you're a 4A or a 3A or a 6A.
Now, I do agree with you on that one. I look at that too because I'm heavy into recruiting in high school sport, because I'm just heavy into amateurism sports. And I look at it, I'll be like, oh man, this kid come from, Louisiana, and he went against 2A, 3A private school all his career. He didn't play against no public school 5A, 6A. The competition was just a little different. So, when he go against some real thoroughbred football players, he doesn't look too good. And we see it all the time. All the time. all the time.
Yeah,
y'all have way too much fun when I'm gone.
Hey, I gotta go, guys. But man, salute, great show. I know I'll see y'all tomorrow for barbershop talk. But see y'all tomorrow. Roll down Tide. Love y'all. Till later.
Hey, we love you too, Coach Dude. Always come back, brother. We'd love to hear from you. You know that. Thanks for being on. All right, guys. It's kind of getting a little bit later, and that's why it's called late night. And I'm sure a lot of folks are just laying in bed. I know one of them is. Let's see, what was I going to tell y'all? Yeah, it is nice that Georgia fans is not in here picking, and we get to sit down and talk some Alabama football and good stuff, and I enjoy it. Now I miss Two-Time. I enjoy Two-Time. He's great. But anyways, guys, we are going to get out of here. Coach, I'm going to take you out. You froze up on me, brother. Man, I always enjoy Coach Dude being on here. Always do. Love talking to the man. All right, guys, I'm going to bring this up again. We're working on our Bigfoot show, and I got a little text tonight we're working on to hopefully some stuff that y'all will enjoy, but I want some local stories. People I'm talking to right now are more, I ain't gonna say they're national, but it's kind of like their lifestyle, their hobbies, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna get them some on the show, a couple of them, but I want to hear from local people, local stories. That's what I'm wanting to hear. I know there's probably be some people watching this show later on, I hope, and hears this out. So I would like for you to leave comment in there that you do have a story. So that way, when we do finally come out with it, that we'll have a good show. And that's what I want is local people. AT, you got anything else before we get out of here?
Not really. I was just sitting there thinking about Georgia. You better whoop the living shit out of Florida State, because if you don't, we'll never hear the end of it. So, I mean, you got to do it. Do your part. Yep,
I sure do. All right. Well, guys, today is Saturday. Yep, tomorrow is Barbershop at 12 o'clock Central with Van Edwards, 1 o'clock Eastern. We hope to see y'all there then, too. I don't know what in the world that man's going to talk about. If it's like last time, he didn't either. And it ended up being a good show. And don't forget Tuesdays with the Horsemen with well, I don't know if Roll Tide Rise Up will be back yet, or if some changes may be coming up on that. We don't know. But we know we'll have Spencer, AT, and William. Always a good show with them fellas. So y'all make sure y'all catch them. What is it, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You'd think I would remember that kind of stuff. Chat room. Y'all have been great. Every daggum last one of y'all. Me jamming 6-0, George Lambert, Dick Saban Jr. I know William was in there. Yep, I see Williams. Brittany, got to say roll tide to Brittany. I ain't got to say roll tide to her in a long time. Stephen Hicks, I wonder if you're still in here. Always a good faithful. Roll tide rise up was in there. Motherfucker Jones. I can only say that late at night. I can't do it when the sun's shining.
Yeah, I call him Manufacturer Jones during the sunshine. At night, you call him Motherfucker Jones.
George Lambert, I hope I said to you. I'm just scrolling back just a little bit. It's been a good show for us.
William, Brian. I didn't mean to miss you earlier, brother. I'm sorry. Roll Tide, William.
Yep, little Joe C. I forgot about little Joe C. Always great to see him. Yeah, he said something to you earlier, and I was going to tell you he said it, and we got busy. But anyways, guys, we're going to get out of here. We had a good time, and we always enjoy y'all. So hope y'all enjoy us. So we're going to get out, roll down tide. We'll catch y'all tomorrow afternoon about 12 o'clock. Hope to see y'all there. Y'all have a good night. Go ahead, give me a roll tide before I get off here.
Roll Tide, baby. 2023 Pick'em champ. Woo!
You didn't have to go that far.
Okay.
We'll
Roll
see you guys.
Tide.
Y'all have a good night.
You've got to be better in all three areas of life, which of course are spiritual, mental, and physical. You must be able to discipline yourself. If you don't learn but one thing out of football, it'd be worthwhile. There's certain sacrifices that you will have to make. There are going to be many sacrifices you have to make in later life. To fight. Oh, I don't mean fist fight. I mean to get up and come back and get up and come back and get up and come back again after you've been knocked down. And that could happen to you in later life. But if it does, you're going to know how to handle it. There's no one that ever has or ever will accomplish anything alone. I've read about self-made men. That's Tommy rot, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know how to define intangibles. And I know that if you learn these lessons, you'll have it. And if you have it, you'll win, and you'll be better prepared in those three areas of life that we've been talking about. That there are going to be times for everyone that you're going to get discouraged. But if you never lose sight of your objective and never give up on yourself, if we do that as a team, 11 at the time, 4 years from now, why, we'll be walking out of here as national champion.